Good evening. It's Friday night. Welcome to tonight's live. We are gonna be talking about goals, metas for 2025. So we're gonna be talking about goals, and also we're gonna be talking about why some of us did not accomplish our goals for 2024. So tonight it's important for us to understand what is causing the problems that we have with our goals. Thank you, Will. Will is here. Thank you, Tati. What's happening, Tati? L5 just joined. ECS Gold Card. What's up? Thank you for being here. So we're gonna be talking about our goals for 2025, but we are also gonna be talking about why we did not accomplish our goals for 2024. Right? Some of us did not accomplish what we were planning to do for 2024. So what is it? I was asking some of my friends on our close group what happened, what was the goals. So one of my friends was saying I wanted to make $1 million this year, right, for my company. So he wanted to make $1 million, but then he said I made like 500,000, and then he said like it's not profit, right? Is the 500,000 is not profit. It's like 500,000, like the amount of the whole year, not just the profit, like in everything. So it's important to understand. I asked him what was the problem, right? What was the why you think you didn't accomplish to the goal of the million, right? He said lack of knowledge. He said he thinks it was a lack of knowledge, probably on the business part, on how to accomplish his goal, right? And so that is one of the things that sometimes we don't have as small business owners, as contractors. Sometimes we don't have the knowledge on how to get more customers, or how to get more profitable for our company, right? So the lack of knowledge will be one of those. And also I was talking to another member, and he was saying the procrastination was one of his goals, and that's the reason. He said that was the main reason why he didn't accomplish the goal, right? So sometimes we wanna do something, right? But we procrastinate, right? We just don't do it. Not sure exactly why. So, and the other one, so procrastination and lack of knowledge is two of the things that are stopping us from getting to our goals, right? Also, I asked another member of the group, and he said no employees, right? He said that it's hard to get to $1 million, or to get to 500,000, or a big, whatever it is that it is your goal, that it's hard to accomplish it by yourself. He said you need people, you need probably employees, and you also need to get some really good connections, right? So it's hard to accomplish something if you are by yourself. No, in my case, I'm by myself, and sometimes that's one of the reasons they said if you don't get no help and you're just trying to get everything done by yourself, it's really hard. And I want to ask you guys. So we have three things: no employees, the lack of knowledge, and also procrastination. There's one of the three that are stopping us from getting to our goals. And it's important to understand, basically, when we're troubleshooting, we got to find the problem first, right? For us, the electricians, we got to find a problem and then we solve it, right? As business owners, I think if we identify what it is that is stopping us from our goals, maybe we can understand and we can probably get closer to our goals, right? I wanted for this year, it was not a big goal. It was not a big goal for me, and I didn't accomplish it. But I'm thinking that maybe by understanding it mentally, what is going on, what is stopping us, I think if we understand, we can see like, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I got to stop this. Let's say procrastination. If lack of knowledge is one of them, I gotta see who's doing training on business and how I'm gonna help my company grow by doing these activities and learning. Just try to get to know administration. Sometimes is some of our weak points too, right? No administration, we don't know how much money comes in, we don't know how much money comes out, and sometimes we spend so much money on marketing, we spend on sometimes even on material that we don't need, right? I made a mistake on a job last week that I had to buy a roll of 10-3 that I already had on my storage, right? So I was like, man. So sometimes things like that is like, where is the money, right? Even if you're busy, we don't know where the money is, right? And sometimes we're reinvesting it on the company, but we're not seeing it because it's there, it's on material, it's on marketing, it's on some other stuff, right? So if knowledge is your weak point, start learning, try to find business videos, find somebody that is really good on training. If it's procrastination, try to find someone that is teaching, like, to be active, to figure out ways to keep going, right? So I'm always trying to find, every day I'm trying to listen to Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn is a great motivator. He has great books. So I'm trying to listen to Jim Rohn, and most of the things that I come up with sometimes is from Jim Rohn, because he is really good, and he's a good motivator too, right? So what do you guys think? What are you guys doing? Do you guys accomplish all your goals, or was there something that you guys did not accomplish? And if you guys want to share why your goal was not accomplished, it could help us to understand what's going on, right? Sometimes what's up, Rudy? What's up? Sometimes the limiting beliefs too, right? Will is always talking about the limiting beliefs that we have, right? So sometimes we're scared. Sometimes we're afraid. We are afraid of success, and we're afraid of failure, right? Because sometimes we don't know how to handle it, right? So if you guys want to share, let's do it interactive. I want to see what you guys had for this year, what you guys didn't accomplish, and what are you guys thinking, right? I didn't write my goals. I don't have them on writing, because I wanted to understand, and I wanted to see the things that I'm doing that are stopping me, right? From this growth that I want to do for my company. And first, we understand what is causing these problems, and then we can figure out a way, right? Also on this week, I understood one thing, guys. I was listening to the book Mastery from Robert Greene. I was listening to that book, and obviously it says that on this book, to accomplish mastery, you guys probably heard about mastering. So to do, let's say, if you want to play the guitar, if you want to become a professional at something, right? Even us as electrician, right? We needed 10,000 hours, okay? So if we need 10,000 hours to become a master, and we had, let's say, now we have the hours, right? We're master electricians. some of us, right? Some other ones are on the way. But if it's 10,000 hours, if it's 10,000 hours that we need, right? If you guys make the multiplication, I think it's about, if it's 10,000 hours, I think it's about 5 or 6 years to accomplish the 10,000 hours, right? And sometimes I think I was like, well, maybe I don't have the 10,000 hours, right? So I'm not a master on my business or in the business side, right? I'm just learning as much as I can to do that, right? So I think maybe sometimes I'm trying to ask myself for too much, maybe I'm trying to push myself and being too hard on myself on becoming a better business, a better contractor, because to get to my master, I will need probably two more years, 3 more years, right? So what do you guys think about this, right? We have to become masters on business, on whatever it is that we're doing, so we can understand. And I think that's why some people, they say, like, you know what, after the fifth year, after the fourth or fifth year, my business started succeeding, right? So, but if we don't have the 4 years, I'm on my third year, right? Soon is gonna be my third anniversary, right? So maybe I'm pushing myself too hard, or maybe you guys are pushing yourselves too hard, right? But understanding this, if we go and accomplish more hours on the business, we can see the progress, right? And I think eventually we're gonna hit those goals. Okay, so hopefully, let's see. Will wants to jump in. What's up? What's going on with not accomplishing our goals? I want to understand. So I have some notes here. What's up, Will?
How you doing, brother?
Thank you for coming in.
No,
So
I appreciate you keeping the routine. I like how
sure.
everyone keeps each other in check. Like you're like, are you having class? And I'm like, are you? So I appreciate you keeping it up.
For sure, it's consistency, right?
Yeah.
Consistency, one of the principles. So, Will, let me share this with you, Will. The common reasons why people don't achieve our goals: lack of clarity. Goals are too vague or undefined. Fear of failure or success. Psychological barriers that hold people back. Poor planning. No actionable steps or roadmap. Procrastination, struggling with focus or motivation. Limiting beliefs, internal narratives that sabotage success. And the lack of accountability too. Yeah, so lack of accountability, no one to track progress or encourage them, right? Sometimes we don't have no one to that is like, hey, what happened with that goal? What are
Yep.
your thoughts on that, Will?
I loved everything that you hit on it, and this is everything that we went over. Personally, without opening that door, that's exactly why it's so important. Because this can be the easiest thing you do, but it's also the hardest thing. You know what I mean? It's
Yes.
like when I was growing up, I remember my father would always tell me, making your bed, it's the easiest job to do to get the first win of the day, but it's always the hardest.
Yes.
Why? Because it's so simple, or just putting 2 minutes to do something, you're like, I can always do it later. And remember, with us in the trades, especially as contractors, we want to focus on getting the work done. That's the hardest part of the day. Just get the
Yeah.
work done. So all these little things that, to be honest, some people may think it's like, oh, I don't need motivation. I don't need to make a plan. I just need to go. That will only get you so far. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That can only get you to a certain point. You can only hustle for so long. And I liked how you mentioned before, like how some people want to make it to, like, for example, the goal of 1 million. You can only hustle so hard.
Yes.
You and I only have 24 hours a day. The average hourly rate, what's the average hourly rate?
Let's say for an
Yeah,
electrician, let's say a
average.
hundred. Let's say $100.
Boom. How many hours are you working a day?
8.
8. So less than 1,000. There's how many days a year?
365.
So let's say you work all 365 days a year, and
Yeah.
you work 8 hours, which we know every contractor always has work. No, we don't. But if you work $100 a day, $100 an hour for 8 hours a day for 365, you're only looking at around $350,000 a year.
Yeah. And it's
And that's
all is
24/7.
not profit, right? Not all is profit.
Exactly. But that's if you were busy, if you were going to work every hour of the day for every day for a year, you can't make $1 million. So how do you make $1 million? You have to replicate yourself. True or not? That's
Yes.
even if Monday to Sunday, 8 hours a day, boom,
Yeah.
boom, 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 boom. You're still not going to reach $1 million. Of course. Can you get a big contract? Of course. Can you get charged $500 an hour? Of course. But we're saying on average, what you and what am I going to face when we come into contracting?
Yeah.
That's why we, in our book, we made the milestones. Remember, when someone quits their job, I just want to make enough money where I can quit my job. That's the
Yeah.
first plateau. The second plateau is $1,000 a day, right? Then it's the 1 million talk, because now I work hard. If I get a journey person, he works hard.
Yes.
Now that's instantly 700 a year. And when you already hire one person, you hire a third person, and now you see how boom, 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 it compounds.
Okay.
So
That's how we can see the progress, right? If we're doing it by ourselves, it's really hard.
exactly. But the core is what you said, is sitting down and doing that math real quick. Somebody can just say, I'm just worried about the field. Then you're going to stay worried about the field. You're not going to be saying, maybe I got to duplicate myself. All you're going to be thinking about is the next job, the next job, the next job. If you're not thinking and sitting down and planning like what you said, see what this assessment, where am I now? Do I want this or do I not?
Yeah.
If you don't want it, what do you want next year, and make that roadmap? You said it exactly. You hit it on the head.
For sure. So I think by identifying this problem, I think we can figure it out and make a better plan for 2025 on what are we going to do, right?
Exactly.
Sometimes they say like we're going on a vicious circle. Yes, yes, sir. Thank you for that. So they say sometimes make your goals that or set your goals that are making you scared, right? But then if we put them too high, and if we don't see the progress, right? And we are all like that on everything, right? So it's not just business. It's like sometimes we say, okay, I'm gonna lose weight, right? I'm
Yep.
gonna I'm gonna be and then we go to the gym and we don't see the results on the first week or the second week, and there we are of the gym, right? We quit very very easy. So
Yep.
I think we have to get to a better plan on how are we doing things and what exactly is going to help us accomplish our goals, right?
Yep. I think you hit it on the head with the accountability. Accountability, and just like what we talked about the other night, the
Yeah.
self-development.
Yeah.
If you don't want to learn, you can read all the books, you can know all the answers, right? There's individuals, true or not, let's not say names. I don't know who who you look up, but there's guys online, there's other educators that they know what to say, but then what's the action? And you got to just differentiate that. You have to look at somebody and say, okay, if that's what we're going to do, then do it.
Yeah.
If somebody doesn't want to change but knows all the answers, that doesn't help.
For
You
sure.
have to make that decision yourself, right? I would think, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So Montoya says, but that's why you have short-term goals as well. Those are just as important as the long-term that
Oh yeah,
adding to uh, getting to your long-term. Okay. Uh,
yeah. Like, so
thank
he
you,
means like,
Montoya.
does he mean like milestones? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think,
if I say I want to lose 50 pounds,
yeah,
my first 5 pounds is a milestone, right? Is that what
Yeah.
he's meaning?
Oh, for
Or
sure,
does he
for
mean
sure.
or does he mean steps like walk every day?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
that's a very good point too.
Jim Rohn, and this week he was saying, like, in one of the parts of the video, he was saying, like, try, if half an hour is too hard to do exercise, try 10 minutes, 10 minutes every day, 10 minutes every day. You're moving, or you're dancing, or you're running, or you're walking, but start with 10 minutes. And then once you get comfortable doing those 10 minutes, then you go to 20 minutes, right? And then you're like going and you're getting somewhere, right? You're not
Mm-hmm.
just like not doing anything.
I like that. There's a book, $100 million leads,
Okay.
Hormozy.
Or mostly, okay.
He said one thing that I really appreciated when he said making your goals. I think you mentioned it. You said a lot of people make goals, but then they'll be afraid to fail their goals.
Yes, yes.
He said a lot of people set so many goals for themselves and they don't, and it almost intimidates them. He said, I want you to make goals where the sweet spot of a goal is right before you laugh, when you start laughing at it. Because it's like, is it possible? Right? Is the bottom, it's, oh, this is easy. The extreme is, oh my God, this is too scary. You want to be in the middle where you're like, ooh, I think I can do this, where you can start laughing at it.
Okay.
Like, it might be to make you feel emotionally like it's crazy to go after this.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to do something too big where it's going to just scare you. I like what
For sure.
that habits and discipline. Yep.
Yeah, thank you, Tari. So do you think the way Montoyada is saying, do you think we should maybe uh, do like a 12-month goal, let's say the 2025 goal, and then break it down as every month, or break it down as a week, or 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and 12?
So you know how I like to break it down. I break it down. I got the 12-year goal because you need to know what the end looks like. And
Okay.
then I break it down quarterly, every 3 months, right?
Okay.
Then monthly, right? And then weekly goals for me. And of
Okay.
course, it's just like Montellada. It's like if I go on the scale every week, nothing's going to change.
Yeah.
Sure or not. When will it change, though? At the month.
Yeah.
Right? So if I look at it too frequently, then I'm not going to see the change. And that too can discourage you. True or not? Because you're like, I'm doing everything
It
right.
does.
How many more salads do I need to eat? And nothing changed. You know?
Exactly.
That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
You can eat a salad the whole week. Nothing changes, right?
Yeah.
You eat one burger, you gain 10 pounds. True or not? Right?
Yeah, exactly. You guys should show how you go about making your goals. Okay, well, um, Rise and Grind 415 is it's he wants you to explain how you do your goals. Go.
I can't show this too long because this is goals.
Okay,
All right. So I
okay,
only go real slow. Business plan for 2025.
okay,
This is literally what we have already to build out
okay.
your goals.
Okay,
So
Montoyada, do you have your goals already for 2025? Do you want to share a little bit, or how do you break it down? If you want to share, you're welcome to share it, or if you want to jump in on the live. But it looks like he has already the setup,
yep.
right? So you can
This
share how do you structure it? Okay, okay. How do you recommend reaching out and creating your first accounts? Okay. Um, what do you think, Will? Do you want to answer that?
How do you recommend reaching out and creating your first accounts? Accounts are what? What are
Yeah,
you what type of accounts? Bank accounts, accounts for
really.
customers, accounts for credit, accounts for supply house,
Yeah.
dripping buddy. What are you referring to?
Okay. Yeah. So if you can break it down, Montoya, on how you have it, because I usually put it like for the year, right? I want to get to this goal for the year, right? and sometimes we just don't we don't get there, right? My goal, customer accounts. Where are you located? Dripping Marty, where are you located? I was tomorrow I was thinking to play a job, on Mexico. Tomorrow is the Santos Inocentes. It's like a jog day. It's like our April's Fool. I'm a GF working for a company.
Okay.
Okay, you if you're working for somebody, then I'm not sure exactly how are you gonna do your GF? What is GF? Well,
Foreman. He's a
uh,
general foreman.
general foreman. Okay, but are you getting your license soon,
Yeah.
or what's the plan? Because right now, obviously, if you're working for somebody, someone else is taking care of that part for you.
Mhm.
My 2025 goal is to grow overall sales by 5%. I like it, but just the 5%, I don't like it. What do you think, Will?
I mean,
Well,
we're
but
we're
maybe he has a big number.
yeah. It depends. You know what I mean? If he's making $10 million, 5%,
Yeah, yeah,
that's
that's
another
a
two
lot.
million. All right, that's a lot of money.
Yeah,
But 5%, it depends on what the whole is. What
yeah.
the whole pie is.
Let's
But
say
that's very conservative growth.
if it's a
You know,
100,000, then it's $5,000 or
yeah, only
yeah.
that
So
that's one
Montoyada,
more. That's one job, one service
yeah,
upgrade. You can do that.
yeah, for sure, correct. Yeah, so Liquid Marty, I think you should get your license and quit your job,
Yeah.
right? Because so he's a GF working for a company. Yeah, so someone else is taking care of that business part for you. Uh, but once you get your license and do your thing, okay, yeah. So then talk to him, Will.
So once again, there's many ways of getting your name out there. I think even Martine, your live last week talked about it, even marketing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So that's getting your name out there, different avenues. There's ways of getting your name out there without spending money. Also, you can start with social media, get your name out there. LinkedIn is another live that Martine had with Milo, where you
yeah,
guys talked about getting an online presence. As you start generating money, that's when I start recommending paying for these different programs out there like Yelp, Angie's List, all these stuff. But just
home
understand
advisor.
that these things
Yeah,
are going to cost money. So in the beginning phase, especially if you don't have your C10 right now and you're not advertising your services, just get your name out there through social media so you can get your foot wet, so you can start pushing your brand. And as you start growing, once you have your license and you can take on customers, the number one thing is referrals. Referrals is always going to be your number one seller. If
yeah,
you have, you can have a five-star rating. If you can have a five-star rating on Yahoo or Yelp or
yeah,
Google, you can
yeah,
have a five-star rating. And if that customer is looking up for an electrician and he sees your five-star rating and the neighbor has an electrician at his house right now and says, "Do you recommend him?" He's going to say yes. It doesn't matter how many star ratings you have. He's going to call the neighbor's electrician because it's a referral. Referral based business is always going to win.
yeah,
That's why Angie's List and Yelp, their pitch is we're your referral for you. But at the end of the day, they're a sales company. So they're not really helping. The neighbor who has nothing to gain from it is willing to pass off an electrician to you. So remember, in the big scheme of things, referrals, personal referrals are the number one
yeah.
way to go.
Yeah.
So when
Also,
you, yeah,
yeah. Go ahead.
I sorry. So I was going to say, so when you do a job and you complete a job, get a referral. It's worth more instead of paying out for ads. What I would say is, I'll give you 10% off if you send 3 texts to your friends right now and show me the text message. Because now I
Sure.
see them sending it out.
Yeah, so Dripping Marty, there are different ways to start your business, but if you are working for somebody, sometimes you can keep working at your company, you know, and then start doing your small jobs with your own company, and then you can build up customers, and then when you have a lot of work, then you can quit your company, right? But sometimes if different people work different ways, you know, some people are very very cautious. No, well, I will say some people they use quit until they're like really busy, and some other they like to just jump in and start investing on marketing. But I think it's hard. It's hard for a new business, you know. It's hard for all of us. So be ready to cry, and just start, saying goodbye to your savings.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, just get psychologically ready,
First few
because things
contracts.
are not as easy. Just like everything else, you know. Always the grass looks green on the neighbor's house, you know. But so just be ready psychologically, that if things get hard, you know, you're gonna have the courage to keep going.
Yeah.
I will say that, right? Because things get hard, and you're gonna probably cry, and you're gonna run out of money
Those
eventually,
first few
or
years.
maybe not. So just try to prevent yourself, and be ready mentally that things are not gonna be as probably as easy as you think, right? Because when I was planning to do my company, well, I was thinking that it was gonna be, you know, so easy, and I was gonna make so much money and all that, you know, happy, and all right, I'm quitting later, guys. But then when I hit reality,
Oh,
you know, it's like, no, 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 no. It's not that simple. It's hard. So yeah, I would say just get mentally ready, man, to cry, and be brave and have courage.
and that's even the craziest part. What once again, what I love about business is, even if you prepare as much as you
Yeah,
want, stuff still happen.
yeah,
So it's never a thing where you're like, I'm confident 100%, because you know anything could still come up. Remember, like I said, there's programs out there that, hey, get the best paperwork, do this, do that, do this. The customer can still say, I don't want to pay.
yeah,
That's the thing. That's the thing with business. You can do everything that's right, and you can still have a bad day.
for sure.
So you got to just be. I think Montoya, did he say it in the comments? You have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah, for
He said
sure.
that tonight, right?
Yeah, yeah. He said next door is free, Home Depot Pro referrals is free. Then use thumbtack, word of mouth too. So yeah, dripping Marty, you got a lot, man. You owe me $200. Nah,
Yep.
nah, just kidding, man. Just kidding. We're here to help each other. What's up, Jimmy? Illuminati, what's happening? Thank you for being here. Let's see. Uh, Montoyala, he said I could talk about how I started my business, Dripping Marty. Okay, yeah. So he was giving us really good advice. So the topic we were talking about, the goals for 2025, and what is stopping us from getting to our goals. So you were suggesting, Will, to do 3, 6, 9, and 12. So
Yep.
let's say for
Four
the three
quarters.
months,
Yep.
goals for the 3 months, and then a full year goal.
Yeah. So I start with me, myself. I
Hmm.
start with a 12-month goal. That's number one. 12
Okay.
month goal, because I know where I want to end. And then I break that up into quarterly. For example, just for example, I want to make $5 million in 2025.
Okay.
Bang. That would be an 18% increase from me right now.
Okay.
For example, that means I need to make 1.25 per quarter. Make
Okay.
sense?
How much?
1.25 per quarter.
Okay. 1.25. Okay.
Per
So
quarter.
every 3 months you will have to make 1.25.
Yep. Exactly. for at 12 months, it's 5, right?
Yes.
Boom, 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 boom. 4 quarters, then right? You see where I'm getting at?
So,
So
so it will be
January to December, I want to make 5.
okay.
That means every 3 months, I need to make 1,250,000.
Okay.
Every,
That's a lot.
every
That's a big one.
yeah. That I'm just throwing out numbers because it's easy to follow. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That
Okay.
means on average, every 3 months, that's what you have to be in that ballpark. Right?
Yeah.
So that means now we know a quarter. Now we
Okay.
know monthly. That means what? I need to bring in roughly 40,000, 400,000 a month.
Okay.
True or not? You see it,
Yeah.
right? 400 equals 1.25, right?
Okay.
That means 400 a month. That comes out to 100 a week,
Wow.
roughly.
Yeah.
You see it, right?
Yeah.
That's just putting things into perspective. That doesn't mean I'm going to hit it. Now,
Yeah.
let's say I wake up one day and I got $0 this week. That
Yeah.
means now next week I need to double it. So now what
Yeah.
do I just do? Let's say the following week I only make 500. I already know I'm not going to make my monthly goal.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then that tells you, what do I have to do?
Yeah.
I need to work harder. I got to hire more, right?
Yeah.
I got to raise up my rates because now I don't have to think about 5 mil at the end of the year. I think about, what do I have to do now? So the way I operate, I just got to tweak some values around instead of looking at the big number and scrambling and freaking out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Because if I say you're not going to make your goal, you start freaking out. Where am I going to make 5 million? It's almost impossible. But then you say, if I made half of that this week, that means I have to double it. How do you double anything? You work twice as hard. So if I work 8 hours, I got to work 16 hours, right?
For sure.
Let's say I can't work 16 hours. I work 8 hours, and now I have to have 2 crews. Now both crews work 8 hours. That's the 16. The way you,
Yeah.
or I can work 8 hours and double my price.
Yeah.
You see? So now I only have 3 options instead of freaking out about the whole big thing. That's why I have to break it down, because when things don't go right, all you have to do is tweak it now with a formula instead of freaking out about the big thing.
Yeah. It's either, like you say, it's tweak it, or you get discouraged, and then you say, I'm not gonna make my goal anyway. I'm a loser, or I suck.
And that's a big,
Right? I'm not good at this, Yes,
but that,
I'm just gonna keep going, right?
but that's why making that goal 12 months is so important.
Yeah.
Because if you make something that's out of not reasonable, then it's going to be unreasonable with your little goals. You have to make a goal like Montellada, conservative or something planned that you want to hit.
Yeah, he said he was saying 5% because he's hiring. I think he's hiring a journeyman and a helper.
Perfect.
So I think that's why he was being conservative.
Yeah, perfect. Because now he has more liability. He has to train the new guy first. So he's not worried about profits. He's worried about training. I love that. That's fine. That makes sense.
Yeah, jump in, Montoya. Jump in. Send the invitation. I want to meet you, and let's talk about this. Let's break it down, because just like on the losing weight, on the losing weight, you go a month and you don't see difference, and then you're like, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to keep coming to the gym. I don't see any difference, right? And you get discouraged, and sometimes I did pay for my membership for a year, and I went like a week. So I kept paying, I was not going, man. Unbelievable.
Let me look something up real quick.
Let's see, Montoyada is here. Let's see if
Do
he
you know?
joins.
Did you ever hear about that My man. Did you ever hear that statistic, Martine, about people who wait till January 1st for their goals? Did you hear about that statistic?
No, what is it?
Let Montellada look it up because I don't want to get the number wrong. So I'm
Okay.
it up real quick. But I think it's a big number.
Okay.
For goals that they put off. It's like
Yeah.
65%, I think it was
Yeah, it was have
Wow.
it because they say if you need a date on a calendar to tell you to start, you're not going to start.
oh,
Okay.
I forget to put stuff on my calendar, so it starts there for me forgetting to put anything on my calendar.
Four
Okay.
4 days ago, by Forbes, only 9% of people
Yep.
successfully keep their New Year's
Wow.
resolution if they say they start January 1st. That's a 91% fail rate.
Yeah. So I'm on that 91%.
Well, I'm the same way for the gym. If so
Okay.
many people go, oh, I'm gonna start January 1st, 91% fail.
Yeah.
Jesus, Jesus.
Yeah. So do you already break it down your goals for 2025? You have them ready?
So my major goal, because there's a lot of like variables for me.
Okay.
And I mean, I talked with Will at length about it a week ago. Because for me, there's so many moving pieces. So
Okay.
kind of give you some background on it as well. On top of being a business owner, I'm also in the military as well, so that takes up a lot of my time as well.
Okay.
So for my business goals for 2025, I want to automate. I
Okay.
want to automate my business to where if I'm on a deployment or if I'm on like some sort of active duty orders or something like that, I can be gone and it still runs like a top.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So, but in order to do that, and that's why I'm saying with my 2025 goal, 5%, I'm being very conservative.
Mhm.
Okay.
Like this year. So far this year compared to last year, and I was doing my common size income statements. I don't know if you guys know what that is. But common size income statement, taking a look at my total revenues, taking a look at my total net income as of like net sales and what it is, I've grown 66% compared to last
Oh,
year.
wow.
66%.
That's really good.
Proud.
So I'm being conservative with the 5% growth because yes, I need to first off, I need to retain the amount of sales that I've already generated, and going into 25, that is the minimum bar. I have to hit that. And then
Yep.
5% on top of that, because now I've got to hire somebody. I have to hire somebody, just like Will is saying, to duplicate me. I
Yes.
have to have somebody to who really understands how to run the wire, how to do XYZ, how to even talk to people. It's all the soft skills as
Yep.
well out here. Like hard skills and soft skills here in Arizona. Hard skills are they're not great. Um, so like unlike California and other places where they'll license the individual, Arizona doesn't do that. Arizona licenses the business. So the individual has no skin in the game whatsoever.
Wow.
And where I'm at with that is I don't like that. So I train how I was taught and I how I got my individual license. Hey, you're going to do this, you're going to know how to do it, and while you're doing the how, we're going to teach you the why. And that takes time, that takes my time away, and I'm not cheap. I'm expensive. Um Especially being on a job site, I'm there for 10 minutes. I've burned through probably about $15 of labor just being there for 10 minutes.
Yep.
So time is money, especially here um, in Arizona, and good help is also not cheap.
Okay.
So I hired a brand new green apprentice, totally green. Yes, he worked at the union for a year, but he didn't really learn much. All he learned was how he can bend pipe and kind of escape his foreman. But that was about it. But he couldn't tell me. He could tell me how to bend pipe, and he could tell me, yeah, it needs to be strapped within 12 inches, and then every 4 feet after that. He could tell me that easily, but he couldn't tell me what's the ampacity of a number 12 THHN wire. What's the derating limit of a three current carrying conductors in a pipe? He couldn't tell me any of that because he just simply they just simply don't teach them that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's all ground level here. And hiring that journey person, yes, is great. They're not cheap, but I'm still gonna have to break the bad habits, and I'm still gonna have to day one start it like you don't know anything
For sure. For sure.
because
Yeah.
I'm going to treat you like you don't know anything until you've shown me otherwise that you can actually perform at the level that you need, that I need you to be at. And if you can't handle that, then I mean, I've got to continue. Business doesn't stop.
Exactly.
So being conservative with my number for 5% is taking into account my military service. It's taking into account how much I'm going to have to pay in labor, how much I'm paying myself for labor. I've got to hire a part-time office manager. I have to because I can't answer all these phone calls. I
Yeah.
can't answer all these pro referral requests from Home Depot, Thumbtack, Next Door. I can't do it anymore just by myself.
Yep.
So it takes a lot of time. And I've grown my business off of just referrals. 100% just
Really good.
referrals, word of mouth. I have not done barely any marketing, and I think I've done about $3,000 of marketing this year, and that's just as of July when I started Facebook ads.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
awesome. That's awesome.
Jesus, what's happening, Jesus Red Wolf? We're talking about goals, metas 2025, and why we did not accomplish our goals. Jesus, do you have any goals that you didn't accomplish, or you accomplished all your goals? Let us know. Let us know in the comments if you have the time. I know you're a busy man.
Well,
He's
I
making goals and have.
making goals.
Yeah.
Well, I get. So, did you meet your 2024 goals?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said
Yeah.
will.
I'm talking. I'm
Don't
talking to
ask
both
me.
of you. Did you
Don't
meet
ask
your
me about my
2024
goals.
goals?
Yeah. Yeah. With my electrical contracting business, yes. My goal for the school was to brand recognition, and that was my goal for Energize Us EDU. So both, I met my goal. Now my goal for 2025, you guys saw the flywheel, the chart I made.
Yep.
I'm terrified. I'm terrified. I'm I'm having conversations I never had before, and it's scaring me. And what's the number one thing right now holding me back is trusting someone 100% to run with it. Because it's one
Mm,
thing, I know how to do a job. If I'm on a job site, I can see what can go wrong, but I still trust my foreman to run the crews, right?
exactly.
Because the worst case scenario, I can fix it. I'm trusting people to do something I don't even know what to do.
Okay,
So
so
I don't know if shit hits the fan. Sorry,
Be
if stuff hits the fan, I'm stuck.
well. This is what I live by. You got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
no, I thrive in that, but it's just really putting leadership to the test. It's really trusting
Mm-hmm.
somebody now, and now it's well, military. You got to trust your body.
100%.
yeah.
I firefighting. It was we. I was a firefighter, so we trusted, but we also knew we weren't going to do something too stupid. You know, like you guys is life and death, and you
Like I mean,
really
and
have to
even
be the next person.
like for me, even more so because I mean, I'm a commander, so I have 180 different soldiers underneath me that I'm in charge of taking care of, health,
Wow.
welfare, everything. So it even more so. They trust me, and I have to trust them to be able to do the right thing when nobody's looking.
So
Sure.
that's the next level for me. I I trusted to a certain point, trusted, and I have contingencies. This is trust, and it's the Wild West. So,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this thing is going to keep me up at night. Oh, if you thought I would, yeah, I'm not going to sleep 2025. I'm going to be up all night freaking out.
For
How
sure.
about you, Martin?
So I wanted to ask you, so there was something that you didn't accomplish
Uh,
For me,
for your goals for Will?
for
Yeah.
me, my
Yeah.
electrical company, revenue-wise, I hit my goal.
Okay.
Little things that I wanted to do, I didn't do because I was too distracted with the school.
Okay.
So what I did was I made that my first quarter goals for 2025.
Okay.
For example, my electrical contracting company, I just hired a COO and a VP of
Okay.
operations.
Wow.
So I'm officially 100% out of my business unless it's permit related, inspection related, training related, on the field job training. I officially systemized. I showed you guys my book. I
Yeah.
literally printed out my systems book and I gave it to a guy, and then he goes, "I can do this." I said, "All right, cool, you got
okay.
the job." You know? So I'm away from my electrical business to work on that. I wanted to do that earlier in the year. I didn't do that.
Okay.
So now that's my one goal right off the bat to start. So he's starting January 1st. And thinking about that statistics, waiting till January 1st, 91% fail. I'm like, maybe you should start tomorrow. Hey, can you start tomorrow? Yeah. But
Yeah, it's
no,
hard.
revenue, I hit it, but personal little things, there's little things, but it doesn't affect the overall thing. There's little things I wanted to do, but I didn't reach them.
Okay. So and you already have your goals, Montoya?
For me, that's a start. That's the first one.
So you're gonna break it down on the 3, 6, 9, 12?
I'm gonna be
Okay.
breaking it down. That's how I live life.
Okay.
I if because if I don't break it down, if I'm just looking at it at the top view, it's a mountain. I'm I can't look at a mountain and be like, yeah, I can climb that.
Okay.
Or
I
sometimes you don't want to.
exactly. To me that's an intimidation factor that I'm putting on myself. And I don't like that. So I operate, hey, break it down into bits I can chew.
Mm.
Because if I break it down into bits that I can chew, it's the small little victories that I give myself throughout the
Yes.
year
Yeah.
that, hey, this means that I'm moving myself in the right direction. So
Exactly.
that's the overarching one. That's the start for me. Now, the second one is creating the systems. The systems I did not have in place when I first started. And that's just because I don't have a mentor.
Yeah.
So for me, joining Build, that was my mentorship piece.
Okay.
Like now I have a network that I can go and ask a question, even if it is just like an electrical question, or like I think I posted the a week and a half ago. Hey, look at this diagram. Does this make any sense to anybody else? Because it's something's off about it, and I needed somebody else's
For
opinion.
sure. For sure.
So I couldn't do that before because contractors out here they they don't talk to each other. Period. So like I'm by myself.
Mm.
I can't go to Joe Schmo Electric down the street and be like, "Hey, can you walk me through this diagram?" He's like, "Are you freaking kidding
Yeah.
me?" Like that.
Exactly.
Why are you running a contracting business? Just give me your customers now. Like,
Yeah.
and that's not the right answer. And that's why my mentorship piece I have now. Now,
For sure.
another goal that I'm looking at is utilize how do I effectively manage and utilize my new mentorship pool, and how can I make it work for me? Are you
Speaking
are
of
you asking which
Arizona,
state I'm
Rudy.
in? Arizona.
Arizona.
Arizona is like the wild wild west where people just don't like talking to anybody and everybody drives terribly.
Okay, okay. Well, good thing you're the only one from Arizona, I think, connected, so you can say whatever you want about Arizona.
Well, I mean, I'd love for more electrical contractors or just contractors in general to talk to in Arizona, but
Hmm.
I can't. Everybody is out for themselves, and
For sure.
that that cohesiveness, that kind of like team spirit
Yeah.
doesn't exist here like it does in California or some of the eastern states, Connecticut. Like you can probably go to somebody and ask them a question and be like, "Hey, what do you think on this? Am I thinking this way?" And they'll probably, "Yeah, this is it."
Yeah.
I don't have that, which sucks.
Okay. Okay.
How about
Well, now you have Build and you have Will.
I I've got build and then I've got everybody else. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not afraid to ask a question. Because what's the worst thing you can tell me? No.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Okay. So let's see. Let's talk on expanded overcoming barriers. Break goals down. Break larger goals into smaller, manageable milestones to reduce overwhelm. Example. Celebrate the small wins, which is what Montoyara was saying. Acknowledge and reward the progress to maintain motivation. Okay, build habits, pair new habits with existing routines to make them stick. Um, Accountability partners. So we're on accountability partners. Do you think it's a good idea then to have a friend or a wife or someone that can hold you accountable for if you say I want to, let's say, make 100,000 on 3 months.
yeah. 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 Accountability is a big part of it. Self accountability and then putting people in your life to hold you accountable too.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, what I love about that is like it's no secret that I always say I work with PVD. You know, I meet with him twice a month
Yeah.
and he's holding me accountable. That helps you because he makes sure I stay on track. And it's not like a babysitter type of thing. It's genuinely asking real questions like how you're feeling and stuff like that. But at the same time, you got to make sure who you're listening to. And that's the biggest point for me. You need somebody that you respect, somebody you can meet eye to eye, but at the same time, you need somebody whose life you want to at least some part of it want to imitate.
Okay.
There is so many individuals who
Okay.
are
Um,
who are trying to I'm remember when we talked we were like trying to think of the right thing to say.
for
This is
sure.
what
For
this is one
sure.
I you want to make sure that the person that you're listening to has the best interest, but at the same time is living the life that they're
You,
preaching as well.
you wanna? Okay.
So you just
Okay.
want
Uh,
to make sure all that stay safe. You know what I mean? Because
sure.
what can make you or break you.
Okay. Resilience training. Embrace failure as part of the journey. Practice,
That's
practice,
Yep.
yeah.
practice techniques like reframing setbacks as lessons or opportunities. Visualization and affirmations. Visualize your success and use affirmations to reinforce positive beliefs. Example,
Yep.
I'm capable of achieving my goals, right? Uh, Fixed and growth mindset. I saw you talking about it, Will, on one of your lives. And I wanted to expand a little bit on that to see, um, because I don't think, I think I saw you talking about it, but I didn't really get it. So I wanted to expand a little bit on that. Do you want to say something about the fixed and growth mindset?
Growth mindset. I recognize, and that goes back to the chart we talked about, 3 pillars of being successful as a contractor. You got to know the work, you got to understand communication, leadership, problem solving, soft skill side of things, and then self development. That's a mindset choice that you have to make. Mindset. any other period of my life, if you said, "Oh, you got to do affirmations, you gotta believe, you got to tell yourself and hold yourself accountable," I would have thought that was like heebie-jeebie stuff. What's so crazy about coming into business is every aspect of your life is involved.
Mhm.
You can't just fix business without fixing yourself. Everything is intertwined. You learn these skills in business to be a better communicator. It helps you to be a better communicator with your wife and your kids. If you want to take discipline, discipline is all aspect. In the Bible, there's an expression: if you're faithful in the least, you're faithful in the many.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's what business is. You're learning these little principles, but these principles apply in every aspect of life.
Yeah.
But
I
you
wanted
have
to ask Montoyada about the discipline. Do you have something to say about discipline, Montoyada, when we get
Oh
discouraged?
boy, do I have things on discipline?
Because you're on the military, right? So you know a lot about discipline.
Dis-
How
Discipline is huge, and it's doing the right thing when nobody's looking. That's the type of discipline that you need to have. Yeah, sure. Running this wire in this conduit outside? Is nobody going to see it? Yeah. Is it the right thing to do?
don't
No.
tell
It,
Dennis.
exactly. You have to be able to hold yourself to a higher standard, and that's what discipline is. If you discipline yourself to maintain the standard, you can never go wrong. Like, yeah, is it going to suck sometimes? Are you going to let yourself down with it? Yeah, absolutely. But having the discipline and understanding that it's a minor setback, and going back to what you talked about earlier, setbacks and having a growth mindset. If something's getting me down, we have a program in the military that it's called MRT, so Master Resiliency Training, and they teach us how to hunt the good stuff.
okay?
Like, hunt the good stuff. You got to find the stuff that really is going to make you better. Don't try hitting glaciers and icebergs. Icebergs, like, yeah, it looks small on the surface, but when you go down beneath the water, that thing is like a good half-mile long. Like, there are all those things under the water that could just drag you down if you're not hunting the good stuff and if you're not being a forward thinker. If you get too into your mind, you're going to drown yourself.
Mm.
So
Awesome.
being able to discipline yourself and understanding, yeah, this was a setback, but it's not going to define me. It's going to help me grow and continue making these mistakes because I learn better from my mistakes than I do my successes.
Yeah.
Yeah, successes help me out in the long term, but the mistakes are what help me redefine my discipline, redefine my mental agility and critical thinking. It's what changes me day to day.
I like that.
Wow. Really nice. Uh, Fixed versus growth mindset. Will fixed mindset avoid challenges, gives up easily, sees effort as fruitless.
No.
Growth mindset embraces challenges, persists through setbacks, values effort as a path to mastery. And do you want to see some strategies to develop a growth mindset? Um, Embrace failure as learning opportunity rather than reflection of your abilities. Celebrate progress and effort, not just outcomes. Replace negative self-talk with positive affirmations such as "I can't do this yet, but I can learn." Surround yourself with individuals who inspire growth and encourage resilience.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Mhm.
That's a that's a beautiful thing to have because that that leads to just success in all shape, ways, and forms. Remember, there's so many different people who will speak, but you want to make sure what they speak is positive because that's what you're ending up filling yourself with. There's already so much negativity in the world.
Mhm.
There's negativity in life, and you can hear the tonality of how someone speaks. But if they have that growth mindset, it's everything's an opportunity. bro, you know how many times we failed this year?
Yeah.
That we just laugh and we're like, let's try it again. You
Yeah.
can't you
Yeah.
can't stop the person who's looking to get corrected. You know, it's gonna get. It's like it's almost funny because it's like, oh, we're expecting this not to be the best, but we're gonna get better. We're gonna improve. We're gonna tweak, and then we're asking for it. The accountability side of it. You can't get mad at someone when he said, "Hey, I'm sorry. Tell me what I can do better." Can't get mad at the guy. You know
For
what I
sure.
mean?
And then it's like you have two voices on your head too, right? Because sometimes it's not people saying bad things. Sometimes it's yourself, the negative self-talk, right? Like that's why I'm always trying to listen to motivations and Jim
Mhm.
Rohn and all that good stuff. Because sometimes my other voice is like saying, you're not as good as you think you are. You know, you're not where you wanted
You're
to be, and
your own.
stuff like that.
You're your
And
own
the other side, I
biggest
have Jim
critic.
Brown.
Yeah.
So sometimes we're too hard on ourselves, right? So we have to like try to find a balance, I guess, right?
Yep. No, you hit it on the head. You hit it on the head.
Embrace
All
the
right. So
suck. That's what I say. Embrace the suck.
yeah, yeah, for sure. All right.
The more you talk to me, Martin, the more you're gonna probably hear some army acronyms or something along those lines, because that's where all this is coming from.
I like it, man. I like it. I have a lot of respect for all the military people, you know, for their service, and also I had one of my customers. He's an engineer, so I was asking him. I saw a video. This has nothing to do with what we're talking about, right? But I was watching a video, and they were saying like how the army like teach the guys on how to sleep like in a minute or
Oh,
in a
yep.
60 and 30 seconds. And I asked him about that, and he said like, no, where did you see that?
I
I
mean,
wish I wish I could know that.
I've fallen asleep in the in the weirdest places on top of a vehicle, on the below the vehicle.
Yeah.
I've slept in some interesting places, and I can fall asleep to like the guns going off in the background, no problem.
So you get
My
that
my
training, or so you
Nope,
get that training,
that's real
or
life.
is it really
That's real
okay? Because
life.
I
And
asked him and he said
like
no.
real life, it just comes back with you. Like when you're in like different training exercises or even in combat zones, like the experiences that happen to you there, they make you and they follow you. Like
Okay.
think of like a white noise machine. Like it really like calms you down and helps you like sleep better. Same concept.
Okay.
But the moment like my kids start screaming or something like that, that's when I get up and I just
Okay.
like stuff like that.
For sure. Okay, well, it was nice. It was nice talking to you both guys. Will Montoyada, thank you for jumping in, man. I really appreciate it, your time, and also I got a better idea on how I'm gonna start writing my goals, right? Because it's coming. 2025 is
Yeah.
coming.
Next week.
What are your plans? Are you guys ready? Are you guys gonna have a party or what?
No.
No, no
No.
party. No
I
party
got
like a
hustle
rock
and
star?
grind.
Listen, listen.
Those days are
I, I,
gone, huh?
I keep saying you guys are gonna know when I hit my goal. When I hit
Okay.
it, trust me, everybody's gonna know.
Okay.
But no,
Okay.
it's I just like you want to celebrate the wins. I don't want to celebrate too
For
soon. You know what I mean?
sure. For sure. Yeah. Okay.
100%.
Excellent. So thank you, Montoyada. Thank you,
Always.
Will. Thank you, everybody that jumped in and joined us on our live. Have a good night. I want to wish you all the best for 2025, and I hope all of you accomplish all your goals and your dreams. And just keep working for it. All right. So thank you, Tari. Remember this: motivation fades. Education lasts forever.
Yes.
Wow.